Welcome back, everyone. Today we're stepping into the brutal battlefields of Entrenched WW1 in Roblox, where every advance can turn into a fight for survival. Instead of fast-paced futuristic combat, this game throws us into the chaos of the First World War, where trenches, machine guns, artillery, and teamwork decide who controls the battlefield. Every meter of ground has to be earned, and victory never comes easily. The moment the match begins, it's clear this isn't a game where you simply rush forward. The battlefield is alive with explosions, rifle fire, and soldiers moving between trenches while trying to avoid enemy bullets. The atmosphere immediately captures the feeling of a massive historical conflict, making every decision far more important than in an ordinary shooter. Our first objective is simple: reach the front line without becoming an easy target. That sounds easy until bullets begin flying overhead. Staying inside the trenches gives us cover, but moving too slowly allows the enemy to strengthen their defenses. Finding the perfect balance between caution and aggression quickly becomes the key to surviving these opening moments. As we move closer to the front line, the battlefield becomes even more dangerous. Friendly soldiers are pushing forward together while enemy fire constantly forces everyone to stay low. Every corner of the trench could hide another opponent waiting for the perfect moment to attack. Looking around carefully before moving is just as important as having good aim. One of the best parts of Entrenched WW1 is the teamwork. Charging forward alone usually ends badly, but moving with the rest of the squad creates completely different opportunities. Multiple players covering each other make it much easier to capture enemy positions and defend newly gained ground. The game rewards patience and cooperation instead of reckless rushing. Soon we reach our first serious engagement. Enemy soldiers begin appearing across the battlefield, forcing us to carefully line up every shot. Ammunition isn't unlimited, so accuracy matters. Landing clean hits while staying behind cover gives us a much better chance of surviving than simply firing as fast as possible. The battlefield never stays quiet for long. Explosions shake the ground, smoke limits visibility, and every few seconds another wave of soldiers joins the fight. The constant action creates an exciting rhythm where no two moments feel exactly the same. Even after only a few minutes, every battle already feels like part of a much larger war. We're only getting started, and the fighting is becoming more intense with every minute. Stronger defenses, larger attacks, and even tougher battles are waiting ahead. Let's keep moving with our squad, hold the front line, and see if we can survive one of the toughest battles Roblox has to offer. The battle is becoming more intense with every passing minute, and both sides are refusing to give up even a single trench. Every attack now feels much more dangerous because the enemy has already strengthened their defensive positions. Crossing open ground is incredibly risky, so timing every movement carefully is becoming one of the most important skills on the battlefield. Our squad is beginning to work together much more effectively. Instead of everyone charging in different directions, we're advancing as one unit, covering each other while moving between trenches. That teamwork makes a huge difference because even the strongest defensive line can eventually break when several players attack from the right positions at the same time. The rifle battles are becoming more accurate as both teams settle into the fight. Every shot now feels important because exposing yourself for too long almost guarantees that someone will spot you. Staying behind cover, leaning out for a quick shot, and immediately returning to safety is proving far more effective than standing in the open and hoping for the best. Smoke, explosions, and constant gunfire make it difficult to see what's happening ahead. Sometimes an entire enemy squad suddenly appears through the smoke, forcing us to react instantly. Those unexpected moments keep the tension high because the battlefield can completely change within only a few seconds. One thing I really enjoy about Entrenched WW1 is how every successful push feels earned. Capturing another section of trench isn't easy. It usually takes several attempts, good teamwork, and plenty of patience before the defenders finally begin falling back. That slow but rewarding progress makes every victory much more satisfying. The enemy isn't making things easy either. They continue launching counterattacks, trying to reclaim every position we've managed to capture. That means defending becomes just as important as attacking. Holding a trench requires constant awareness because opponents are always looking for another opening to break through our line. As the fighting continues, we're becoming much more comfortable with the battlefield. We know which routes provide better cover, where the enemy usually appears, and which positions give the best view across the front line. That growing experience allows us to survive longer and contribute much more effectively to the team's advance. The atmosphere remains incredible from beginning to end. Explosions continue shaking the battlefield while dozens of soldiers fight across the trenches at the same time. It really feels like participating in one enormous historical conflict instead of a simple Roblox match, and that's exactly what makes this game so memorable. The battle is far from over. Stronger resistance, larger assaults, and even more dangerous firefights are still waiting ahead. Let's stay with the squad, keep pushing toward the objective, and find out if we can finally break through the enemy defenses before the battle has reached its most intense stage, and every decision now feels more important than ever. Neither side is willing to retreat, and the front line has turned into a relentless struggle where every captured trench is immediately contested. Victory is no longer about one great push, it's about staying focused and surviving long enough to keep the pressure on the enemy. Our squad is moving with much better coordination now. Instead of rushing forward without a plan, we're carefully advancing from one position to the next, making sure every soldier has cover before pushing again. That steady approach may seem slower, but it dramatically increases our chances of staying alive and holding the ground we've fought so hard to capture. The enemy continues launching wave after wave of attacks. Every few moments another group appears, trying to force us out of our defensive positions. Holding the line becomes a true test of patience because one careless mistake can allow the opposing team to flood through the trenches and erase all of our progress in seconds. Long-range firefights are becoming more common as both teams search for any opportunity to eliminate key defenders before launching another assault. Carefully aiming each shot is much more rewarding than firing wildly. Every accurate hit not only protects our teammates but also creates another opening for the squad to advance deeper into enemy territory. The atmosphere remains one of the strongest parts of Entrenched WW1. Constant explosions echo across the battlefield, bullets crack overhead, and smoke fills the air after every heavy exchange of fire. Even though this is Roblox, the game does an excellent job of creating the feeling of a massive World War I battlefield where danger is always just a few steps away. What makes these battles especially satisfying is that teamwork always has a bigger impact than individual skill alone. A single player might survive for a while, but a coordinated squad can completely change the direction of the battle. Watching everyone move together, defend together, and finally break through enemy lines feels incredibly rewarding. As the final objectives come into view, the pressure reaches its highest point. Every captured trench moves us closer to victory, but the defenders refuse to surrender without one last fight. Both teams are giving everything they have, creating an exciting finish where the outcome remains uncertain until the very last moments. No matter who wins, every match in Entrenched WW1 tells a different story. Sometimes you're defending impossible positions, sometimes you're leading the attack, and sometimes you're simply trying to survive the next wave of enemy soldiers. That variety keeps every battle fresh and makes every new match worth playing. We're almost at the end of today's mission, but one final push still remains. The last objective is within reach, the battlefield is still alive with action, and it's time to see whether our squad can finish this incredible World War I battle with one final successful assault. The battle has reached its final minutes, and the tension across the battlefield is higher than ever. Both teams know that one final assault will decide everything. Thick smoke covers the trenches while explosions continue shaking the ground. Rifle fire echoes from every direction, and every player is giving everything they have to secure victory before the timer runs out. Our squad regroups behind the last captured trench before launching one coordinated attack. Nobody rushes forward alone because teamwork has been the key to surviving this entire match. Everyone reloads, checks the surroundings, and waits for the signal. The order is given, and together we climb out of cover. Enemy machine guns immediately begin firing, forcing us to sprint between shell craters while bullets whistle overhead. The defenders refuse to surrender. Every trench hides another group of enemy soldiers determined to protect the objective. Smoke makes it difficult to see, meaning every corner could become another dangerous firefight. Suddenly an enemy appears only a few meters away, and another close-range battle begins. Quick reactions and accurate shooting become the difference between victory and defeat. Even under constant pressure, our squad refuses to stop. Some teammates provide covering fire while others carefully clear each trench. Nobody is focused on personal eliminations anymore. Every player understands that helping the team is far more important than chasing individual glory. That's exactly why Entrenched WW1 stands out from so many other Roblox military games. The final objective is now directly ahead. Both teams throw everything they have into one last desperate battle. Explosions cover the battlefield while rifle fire never slows down. Reinforcements continue arriving, creating complete chaos across the front line. Every captured trench immediately becomes another defensive position because the enemy launches counterattacks without giving us time to recover. Little by little, our squad breaks through the final defensive line. The defenders keep fighting, but our attack never loses momentum. After one last coordinated assault, we finally capture the last objective. The remaining enemy soldiers retreat, and the battlefield slowly falls silent. Looking across the destroyed trenches after such an intense battle feels incredibly rewarding. Every risky advance, every successful defense, and every teammate covering each other helped make this victory possible. It wasn't easy, but that's exactly what makes the ending feel so satisfying. Entrenched WW1 once again proves why it's one of the best World War I games on Roblox. Massive trench battles, realistic atmosphere, constant teamwork, and non-stop action make every single match unforgettable. If you enjoyed today's battle, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Roblox adventure. Thank you for watching, thank you for fighting alongside me, and I'll see you in the next epic battle.